brought to you.
Eyewitness Weather Forecast.
Good evening. A lot to discuss, so we're going to kind of break this storm down for you in stages. So let's dive right in and talk about what's going on in the here and now. Cloudy skies, and we've had some very light rain and wet snow showers falling over downtown. It's important to note that this is not the nor'easter that what's falling from the sky right now. It's part and parcel as to what's going to happen later on tonight. So temperatures are in the mid-30s. It's been warm enough for some of this to actually mix with a little bit of rain. Winds right now are east-southeasterly. Those are going to shift northeasterly tonight and bring in some colder air. So any rain and snow will change to all snow as we go deeper into the evening hours. But notice temperatures only drop to about 32. That means the personality of this snow will be that dense, wet, pasty, heavy snow. It will be tough to move. And as we go through the day on Tuesday, it will be snowing. And in some cases, it could be moderate to heavy at times. So winter storm warnings are in effect for the entire viewing area. This map stops at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So this is what you should wake up to. Now keep in mind there's going to be more snow through the course of the day, but waking up tomorrow morning, notice up here, I know it's a little hard to see, but we're in the 3 to 6. So that's what should be on the ground first thing in the morning. These darker blues indicate more like 6 to 12 with an excess of a foot over parts of the viewing area. But again, this is just through 8 a.m. It will continue to snow after that. We'll take a look at the total amounts coming up here shortly. 36 now in Utica, Clinton as well, over to Rome. 35 in Waterville, 37 in Ilion. And again, not a lot of cold air right now, but as winds start to funnel in from the northeast later tonight, we will start to notice some colder weather work in. Notice this mixed mash of rain and wet snow. So it's mainly rain here near the Mohawk Valley in the lower elevations, but some of the higher elevations, some light snow over the Adirondacks, higher elevations of the Mohawk Valley, and then down into Otsego County, some very light snow right now. So you can see how this is all behaving. You've got this area of light rain and wet snow, but notice what's happening down towards the Big Apple. Notice all of that moisture pooling. That is the developing nor'easter, energy being transferred from an old area low pressure near Cleveland to the coast. So you'll be able to see this here illustrated on this map. This is going to be the nor'easter that will get itself going later tonight, and the position of that storm puts us smack dab in the heaviest of the snow. So take a look at this on Futurecast, and you'll really get a sense of that nor'easter taking shape. Watch how everything kind of starts to back in like this. It kind of pivots around as we go through the overnight. Some of these darker blues, that's some moderate to heavy snow, which will be around through the day on Tuesday. So let's fast forward and talk about what to expect. And we're going to zoom in, kind of go county by county here. I think the highest likelihood for 1 to 2 feet, Otsego County up into the sections of the Adirondacks. Real tight on the Mohawk Valley. This is all total. Okay, so this is by Wednesday morning, not like the map I showed you just a little while ago. All told, I think somewhere between 8 and 12 inches for Utica, Rome, and then the higher elevations to the north and south might have a little bit more than that. Again, 1 to 2 feet, much of the county of Otsego, and then also some enhancement with that northeast wind up over the north country, could have 1 to 2 feet there as well. So it will be a snowy, windy day tomorrow. Temperatures into the low and mid-30s. Watch for areas of blowing and drifting snow, and the snow could come down at times at a moderate clip before it all kind of tapers off by tomorrow night. 7-day forecast, snowy day tomorrow, 33. And then look by Wednesday, clearing, breezy, chilly, 34. Building clouds Thursday, but milder weather. Look by St. Patrick's Day, it turns wet, could be near 50. So that means the snow that we get overnight tonight and through the day tomorrow will start to melt. It will turn colder again Saturday. Minor weather systems, just some flurries and sprinkles around over the weekend. Colder Sunday, 33, and spring looks like a beauty.
Oh, yeah.
At least to start the first day of spring. on Monday. Sunny and temperatures in the low 40s.
Makes sense. Greg, you said the snowfall we're expected to see tonight into tomorrow, wet and heavy. So definitely take your time if you do have to shovel.
Yeah.
You know, little bits at a time. Don't overdo it.
Yeah, it's gonna be challenging to move around.
Definitely. All right. Well, thanks, Craig. Let's take a look at what's coming up on News 8.
Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
Good evening to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint. Let's get you up to date with the forecast here. We have winter storm warnings that are in effect, so it's for all of central New York here because we're expecting some snow. It hasn't really been that much going on out there, really, in terms of anything heavy. We've had some very light, spotty rain and wet snow. Temperatures are still hovering above 32. And wind is calm right now. So tonight, we expect any rain to go over to snow, and that will start to fill in as we go late tonight. Low temperatures dropping to about 32. All right, let's talk about what's going on in the here and now. This is a look live at radar, and you can see the nor'easter starting to get its act together here. Look at the snow coming up into parts of the Helderbergs and into parts of the capital region, eastern New York. This is all heading west and northwest here. Not much going on here in the city, just a few sprinkles, some flurries around. Up north, we've got some light snow up towards Indian Lake and down into Otsego County. This is where the bullseye is going to be for the heaviest of the snow, and you can see it filling in across much of the county right now. Temperatures right around 32, 33. And we'll point out a couple things here because it's so interesting to see, as a meteorologist, the mechanics of what is going on in the atmosphere. So we've had these very meaningless light rain and wet snow showers around, but I want to draw your attention. You see how you could just kind of make out a little spin right here. That's an area of low pressure. And what that low is doing is actually feeding a new storm that's developing off the mid-Atlantic coast. Look at the moisture coming into parts of the lower Hudson Valley, up towards Boston, pouring tonight. That's that burgeoning area of low pressure, which will become the nor'easter as we go deeper into the overnight. So watch on Futurecast how everything kind of moves in from southeast to northwest, and you can get a sense of that nor'easter because everything's kind of pivoting around, coming in from the north and east to the south and west. That's the flow around that storm on the coast. So here's how this works. The snow will pick up tonight. It will become steady at times through the day on Tuesday before starting to lighten up a little bit by late in the day. But here's the thing. Northeast winds are going to do a couple of things. They will have implications on snow totals. So anywhere you get enhancement with a northeast wind, so some of the higher elevations to the south, that's where we'll kind of get what we call upsloping. So down to the south, that's where the heaviest of the snow will be. There's actually going to be a little minimum right here in the Mohawk Valley, and we'll show you that with the expected snow. So this is kind of a wide shot. So again, that northeast flow, some upsloping in the Adirondacks, 12 to 20. That northeast wind comes down off the Adirondacks, kind of dries out here in the Mohawk Valley, and then upslopes into the higher elevations to the south and wrings out more moisture. So 12 to 20 inches plus over Otsego County, the heart of the Adirondacks. But I mentioned a little bit of a minimum with that shadowing effect coming off the higher elevations. So Utica, Rome, probably somewhere 8 to 12 inches of snow. And then you get into the higher elevations north and south. That's where you're going to get a little bit more. Otsego County again, 1 to 2 feet possible here. This is by Wednesday morning, and also up into the Adirondacks as well. So cold, snowy day for you on Tuesday. It will be snowing at varying intensities through the course of the day with temperatures in the 30s. 7-day forecast, so it will be tricky to travel around central New York and the Mohawk Valley tomorrow. But it clears out by Wednesday. Sun returns, 34. And then look at the milder air returning Thursday into St. Patrick's Day. We luck out there, at least with the temperatures. Maybe not so much weather because it's going to start raining. But upper 40s to near 50. Just a few minor weak snow flurries or sprinkles over the weekend. And then there's your first day of spring, Jamie.
Oh, yeah.
41 degrees.
March can't seem to quite make up its mind what it wants to do there.
classic textbook March. This is what March does.
All right, well, thanks, Craig. When we come back, a slow night in sports, all thanks to the snow, but the weekend was jam-packed. Brendan Miller has the recap for our local teams right after this break. Stay with us.
Eyewitness Weather Forecast.
Well, the process underway as the nor'easter is now getting going on the coast. We've had some very light spotty precipitation here in central New York, the Mohawk Valley. As you take a look live there, downtown Utica, you can see the droplets on the lens. Also starting to see some snowflakes mix in as temperatures are down to 32 now. So some wet snow beginning to fall. Winds are northerly, which is also key that the nor'easter is getting its act together. So any rain or wet snow will change to all snow while you're sleeping as winds go more northerly. I think by the time you wake up tomorrow, it's 3 to 6 inches for the Mohawk Valley, but it's going to continue to snow through the course of the day. Winter storm warnings are in effect for the entire viewing area. These go right into Wednesday morning. So here's a look at what's going on right now in the current moment in time with our live Doppler radar. And you can see the snow starting to fill in here to the south and east as the nor'easter gets cranking. Lighter snows to the north and west. We go in a little bit closer, some flurries in downtown and also up into the Adirondacks. Some steadier snow getting ready to pivot into the Indian Lake area. Near Lake Pleasant as well. Down to the south, Otsego County really starting to fill in with the snow here. Milford to Cooperstown, lighter snow from Richfield to Edmonston. But this will all fill in as we go through the overnight. 34 now in Utica, and everyone falling into that critical low 30-degree range, which will aid in the development of the snow. And this is going to be a dense, heavy, wet snow. It's going to be difficult to shovel and move. It'll get your workout going for sure. So you can see this process already happening as we look at the wider perspective here on satellite radar. Look at all of this moisture down towards the Big Apple. That's the nor'easter taking shape. Also want to point out this little spin here. That area low pressure transferring its energy to the new low on the coast, and hence we are seeing the development of the nor'easter. And this little yellow dashed line that you see here is an elongated area of low pressure in the atmosphere. That is a focal point for lifting, which helps create clouds and snow, and depending on where that feature is, ultimately determines where the heaviest snow will be. A couple other factors is the wind direction being one. As winds go more northerly, we're going to have a little bit of what we call upsloping. So the air hits the higher elevations to the south and it's able to wring that moisture out, which is why I think areas to the south will have the highest totals. Close up of the Mohawk Valley, this is total snow. So look at the timestamp here. Tonight through Wednesday morning, when you add up every snowflake, it's probably 8 to 12 for Utica, Rome. Higher elevations north and south get a little bit more. 1 to 2 feet locally for Otsego County, and maybe a little bullseye with a northeasterly wind up over the Adirondacks as well. So watch how this goes. Everything kind of pivots in through the overnight, moving in from northeast to southwest as the nor'easter gets going, and then it kind of tapers off by tomorrow late in the day and tomorrow night to just some flurries before we get some clearing in the sky by Wednesday. So snowy day tomorrow. It'll be tricky to get around because, again, it's be a very heavy, wet snow. 33 and turning windy. Clearing sky, still windy and chilly Wednesday, 34. Building clouds Thursday with some wet weather Friday, but temperatures in the upper 40s to near 50. So a little luck of the Irish there. And just some minor sprinkles or flurries over the weekend. Nothing major. The first day of spring, Monday, looks sunny. The high of 41.
Hard to believe the first day of spring is just 1 week from today. We're talking nor'easters today, and next week we'll be talking about spring.
That's what March does.
Oh, yeah.
Snowstorm one day, near 50 a couple days later.
That's just how it is. All right. Well, thanks, Craig. We'll be right back with more Eyewitness News. Stay with us.